how it shakes out. So right at the gate, the game on bull. Because what the game need to know the time for. I understand why I need to know, but why does the game need to know? I'm gonna play along. Hang on. Before we get started, can I say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock. Both, that's wild. Since you cooperate, so it's been so cooperative. Next time you boot up the game, see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to your video game now. See what kind of game this is. Yeah, I see. I see what kind of game it is. Hold on. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Well, the talking in the background is crazy.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I ain't skipping nothing. I ain't
Stanley
doing
worked
nothing.
for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yo, welcome back is crazy. You get a trophy for getting a trophy? That's crazy. Oh yeah, I see what kind of game this gonna be. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna just let me just listen to the narrator. I don't want to make him mad. I'm gonna just do what he tell me to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That is not the time I picked. That's not the time I picked. All right, so look, that's memo room it is. So why was Stanley? That ain't creepy at all. All right, so all right. Why was Stanley in the office, but everybody else is in cubicles? This is blowing me, pause. I hate Mondays. Me too, man. Me too. Me too. Alright, let me quit being one of them people and just...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yo, where'd the background go? Okay. Alright, door on my left. Okay, the door's closed behind you, so you can't go back.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
That's crazy.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I don't know why they made me jump.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Like, I remember somebody playing this game a while back before they updated and did all this other stuff to it. It's like so many possibilities and ways you can do and go and just disobey the narrator, and the narrator just go completely off. But since I ain't never played it before, I'm just gonna stick to what the narrator say. I ain't gonna change nothing, or try not to, but I'm just gonna stick to what the narrator say, and that's what we gonna do.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, let's... Is that gonna shut too? I got a flashlight? Oh, it's the elevator. Okay. Alright, look cutscene.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
This ain't creepy at all.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Okay.
Mind Control Facility.
Got me. That indeed did jump. Made me jump. Escape. Oh, it's tempting. It's real tempting. But I'm like I said, I'm gonna just follow what they say.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I hope so.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
But
And
anybody,
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
ain't nobody in the offices though. Like,
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
let me get up on
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
what the freak? Oh.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
No one man should have all that power. There we go. Let me just go ahead and please don't jump scare me. Mind control and oh.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So, Rolf? Oh.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Did he? They don't like no door to me.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation. the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's funny. All right. Okay, all right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There ain't no computer by me, and I'm making clicking noises. Oh, you can't jump. All right, so what if this time?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So let's do the escape. Let's see if we can go through this. So let's speed run this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk.
Yo, he didn't say that
What could
last
its
time.
purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
His dialogue changed. All right, his dialogue changed. That's funny. Let's see.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's escape and see what this is.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yo, whoa, violent death. Never mind, I'm good on that. I'm good on violent death.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Yo, that's crazy. He's narrating. Man, let's go. Let's.
Nope, still on board with death.
Yeah, let's do death. Let's see. Please don't jump scare me, man.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
You ready to turn around? No? Okay. Well, let's go. Oh my.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Yo, that's crazy. Dang, you gonna crush me for real? Well.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Okay. Thanks, lady who saved me. Uh. The Stanley
And
Parable.
yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
You know
What
what?
exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Where'd the
Do you
door
see
go?
now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Ah. Uh, Stanley's computer is crazy. Office layout. Oh, that's exactly what it looked like, bro. You turn around, go out, walk out right here, and you boom, it's right there. Oh, damn, then you, oh, that is it. That's exactly what it look. Hold on, memo room. I bet that's what this is. The two doors. Oh, that's the two door. Okay. This the set of two open doors, very first piece of standard design. The Wonder Room was created. The rest of the game is emergent extension of exploration. Oh, so I guess the other room is DLC. Filing cabinets, office computer. I'm not playing solitaire. Credits is crazy. What's this? The Office. Button sound. Oh. Maintenance room. There's early version maintenance room. The Office. I'm weak. One. What is it? A debug developer room? Or a rep? The apartment time. It's all confusing. All right, let's bam. Crazy. Yo, it's a lot going on.
Elevator for sure would get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be. Then he pushed the number 4. Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental...
But this is crazy. And then I'm right back. Can Stanley not sprint? Hey, let's make like an egg and beat it.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Yeah, I don't want to press that. Can I walk off the edge or something?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't...
I'm gonna quit and then see.